Good morning, you colostomy bags with pencils and pads. Welcome to my hastily prepared and not very important press conference to catch up on some shit going down in Yankee land. Any questions? No? Good. Let's get this started and over with. First of all, I need to remind the newcomers who the fuck I am and what the fuck it is that I do. My official title is the Grand Poobah of Baseball Operations for the New York Yankee Baseball Club. I was hired personally by George Steinbrenner in 1973 and I was given a lifetime contract. I cannot be fired, but I also cannot make final decisions. I only provide my advice and consultation to the team management and ownership when and how I want to. Are we crystal clear? I am also not the Grand Poobah of the New York Football Giants. That is my twin brother. We are the only twins or brothers to concurrently hold the same position in two sports. I also do not have Tourette's like my brother does. The Giants have driven my brother crazy with their years and years and years of losing. Hal and Cashman just give me hemorrhoids and diarrhea respectfully, which helps me keep my weight down. I call them Ozem and Pick. As I said, I do not have Tourette's, but I don't need Tourette's to tell each one of you dumb fucks to stick light bulbs up your dirty asses and ride a motorcycle down a train track. Print that! Okay, first thing is first. The team recently put out the new 2026 coaching staff hirings, and I want to read it to you for a reason. This list of coaches is proof that managers and coaches don't actually matter at all in baseball, or maybe they just matter a lot less than in other sports. Anyway, here is the new coaching staff. Baboon is the manager again for another fucking year. I'd rather have Pat Boone, Debbie Boone, T-Bone Pickett, Boone's Farm Apple Wine, a boondoggle, or Daniel Boone instead. Actually, between Daniel Boone and Davy Crockett, I'd probably rather have Davy Crockett, but that's a discussion for another day. The bench coach is now Brad Ausmus. He played in the majors for 18 years and actually managed a few teams also. But do teams really need a bench coach? Wouldn't they save money on sunflower seeds if they just had a manager? A bathroom attendant is the only job less meaningful than a bench coach. And I mean, seriously, what the fuck do they even talk about? A manager just can't manage without a bench coach? Did Stengel need a bench coach? Fuck it. Whatever. Moving on. And here's where it gets dicey. The new pitching coach is Matt Blake. 4 years ago, he was working with high school players. He wasn't a major league player. He pitched for Holy Cross in college and was 5-9 with a 6.51 ERA. And now this guy is going to coach our pitching staff to pitch better? Yeah, sure. Okay. The assistant pitching coaches are Preston Claiborne, who sounds like he was Thurston Howell III's business partner, and Desi Drischel, who sounds like he played sitar in the 1960s for a band called the Electric Nutsack. The hitting coach is James Rawson. I don't know about you, but I think someone who was actually a great hitter might make a better hitting coach. If a guy was a shitty hitter or didn't even play in the majors, then isn't that like having a guy who goes bankrupt every every year as your money manager? I mean, what's the fucking point of that? Anywho, moving on. The assistant hitting coaches are Casey Dykes, who sounds like he played for the Gas House Gang in the 1930s, and Jake Hurst, who actually said this about his coaching techniques, and I quote, "I completed an MS in exercise physiology where I focused much of my research on the biomechanics of baseball batting and how perception of the incoming pitch influences the swing." Moving on. The third base and outfield coach is Luis Roja, and the first base and infield coach and base running coach is Dan Fiorito. Base running coach. Maybe, I don't know, just maybe we should hire a getting ready to dress into your uniform coach and a put the pine tar on the back coach too. And lastly, we have the position of Major League Field Coordinator and Director of Catching, Tanner Swanson. Director of Catching. Is there a VP and a CEO of catching too? All this to coach two fucking guys? So, here's the coaching staff for 2026. There you have it. All I can say is we better sign some fucking free agents, because this motley crew of coaching nobodies is not going to add any victories to the win column, if you get my drift. And meanwhile, around the league, the Dodgers aren't just reloading, they are acquiring weapons that will make them unbeatable. Why can't we do what they're doing? We could. Except Hal and Cashman are fat, drunk, and stupid, which is no way to go through life. The Cashman formula for the last 15 fucking years has been, let's beat the shitty teams, lose to the winning teams, get to the playoffs, and pray someone gets hot. Which is the definition of insanity, because we haven't won a motherfucking World Series since before the Golden Girls had fruit flies on their cherries. Meanwhile, over at Shea Stadium, our feeble little brothers, the Mets, want to sign our guys that we do not want anymore, which is maybe why they went backwards last year and only won 83 games. Now, they get rid of Alonso and Diaz and maybe Lindor, which means they paid $800 million for Soto to walk 300 times this season. I also heard they're looking to get some free agent steals for low money and are talking to Cranepool about first base. Cleon Jones to solidify the outfield, and Tug McGraw pre-Phillies to cover for the loss of Diaz. And that is that. I'll be back as the situation and news dictates. Enjoyed the hot stove and the winter meetings. Let's see if Cashman surprises us, because if just calling Grisham's bluff and re-signing Belly for 7 years at a silly number is all we do, then we need to pray that Cole comes back completely healthy and unchanged, that Schlittler is the real deal, that Rodon can maintain last year's levels, that Volpe figures everything out at the plate and in the field, and that Jizz stops talking about doing it and actually does it. Oh, and we need to pray that Judge doesn't get old young. Okay. I need to go talk to Hal before it's his bad time and he gets too deep into the naval war game that he plays with his toy soldiers and boats. Just looking at all of you makes me wet. Bon voyage!